Your woke news for the day. The unwoke public have been making their petty comments in regards to the new Pope Leo. It turns out that the new Pope is actually on the side of humanity. Ha! New trend alert. The black people have responded with end quote.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it just now hit me. So the Catholic Church done messed around and elected a woke pope, from Chicago. I love it. I love it. A woke pope from Chicago. These conservative Catholics, these MAGA Catholics gotta bow down and kiss the hand of a woke pope from Chicago. They're gonna be calling a woke pope from Chicago His Holiness. I love it. Because this woke pope, I looked at his history and he's been told 45, 47 and his mascara wearing vice president to STFU a couple times in the past. So shout out to the conclave for the woke pope from Chicago.
Sorry. You'll never guess who's having a mega meltdown over the new pope. MAGA. MAGA.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report. In today's video, we're going to talk about how Black Americans are having the time of their lives reacting to the new pope who has already gotten under the skin of the MAGA crowd. Apparently, he is not here for Trump, not here for Vance, and definitely not here for the MAGA crowd. The man hasn't even warmed up his chair yet, and MAGA supporters are already throwing tantrums. And to top it all off, he's from Chicago. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing so that YouTube may recommend it to a wider audience. And so now, without further ado guys, let's go straight into this video. But first, let me play you a few videos on this matter and I'll come back with my commentary. As a side note, all credit goes to the creators of these videos.
Am I the only one enjoying the crash out over the Pope? MAGA is not happy. And I don't know why that makes me happy, but it does. MAGA is having an absolute nervous breakdown over the Pope because the Pope is against ashism, is against sending people to El Salvador without due process, is against rounding up people and kidnapping people from their homes, their schools, doctor's appointments, and everything else just to deport them without due process. He's a decent person who is anti-Trump, anti-Vance, pro-pew-pew legislation. The guy is firing on all cylinders, to be completely honest. He even did a message in 2020 regarding George Floyd and how they were praying for his family. He has been active to what is going on in the world for a while. And this Pope, Pope Leo XIV, is American. He's from Chicago. So you would think that the super religious right would be on the Pope's side. People who, they're always using their religion to control someone's body or to control someone's life or who they can marry, who they can love, all this other stuff. You would think that people that religious would look at the Pope from America and be proud and be like, hey, he represents us. But no, they aren't like that. They call him woke, which literally everything that they don't like is woke. Like, I feel like they don't like people using ashes and this and that and all that kind of stuff. And the people on the left are like, hey, are we using ashes too much? No, you're not. No, you're not. Because it's completely disingenuous that people are even thinking that, because they use woke for literally everything that they don't like. I mean, honestly, if somebody goes around with rainbow socks, woke. But I digress. I think it is time to dispel with the notion that the people on the right who are pretending to be super religious, that they're just not. They're using their religion to grift. They're using their religion to not have to pay any taxes. They're using their religion to hate on marginalized groups that they think can't fight back. They are using their religion to radicalize people and make them hate others when the Bible doesn't even say any of the stuff that they're saying. It takes a certain amount of audacity to go against every single thing that your religion says and then use your religion for the reason for you doing that. What's amazing is half of these people don't even know that their book doesn't say that because they don't actually read it. If they did, they would be on the side of Pope Leo XIV, because Pope Leo XIV is following what their book says. Yes, he's Catholic, he's not Christian. But still, the teachings of how you are supposed to treat people remain the same. But they don't want to follow the teachings of their own book. They want to use their own interpretations to hate on others and demonize others.
Yo, I keep watching this Pope shit, man. I'm laughing my ass off, man, and MAGA getting mad as a motherfucker. Talking about he woke. Dude, you know that they picked him on purpose, right? As a response to the idiocracy that's going on here, right? And guess who's a part of the idiocracy? You. That's why you're mad. You're mad that he's not going to champion your bullshit. You're mad that you cannot use religion to try to justify your garbage mentality. You are not the good person here at all. If your mindset was, how do I get more money? To hell with everybody else, you are not a good person. If you were thinking, oh, how do I get rid of this person, and hurt this family to uplift my own, you are not a good person. If you're talking about I'm pro-life, but you know that you don't give two fucks about what happens to that baby outside of the womb, you are not a good person. You know that you would flip the switch on somebody in Texas on death row in a heartbeat. Where's your pro-life?
The moment news came out that this Pope had criticized Trump in the past, MAGA supporters lost it. They started complaining left and right like they were personally attacked. It's like they expected the Pope to show up waving their flags and praising their favorite guy. But no, this Pope came with receipts and opinions, and MAGA folks couldn't handle it. All of a sudden, everything is too woke, too biased, too liberal, too much for them to deal with. The complaints came fast and loud. Social media was full of dramatic posts about traditional values disappearing, all because this Pope doesn't fully support their favorite politician. And the more MAGA supporters complained, the more black folks laughed. It wasn't even about the Pope himself. It was the reaction that made everything funny. Watching people melt down over someone showing basic human decency is pure comedy. They didn't expect a Pope to speak up about human rights, especially when it comes to immigrants and border policies. But this one did, and he didn't sugarcoat it. That threw the MAGA base into a frenzy. They thought they had the church in their pocket, but now they're realizing that not everyone is going to co-sign their politics, especially not this Pope. And then the cherry on top came when people found out he's from Chicago. The minute his hometown was revealed, things went into a whole new level. Black folks were already laughing at the MAGA meltdown, but now they were really entertained. It added flavor to the whole situation. It just made everything funnier. At no point did the Pope say anything extreme. He just didn't support cruelty. That's it. But for MAGA folks, that was enough to push them over the edge. This Pope had called out the Trump administration for separating families at the border and treating immigrants like criminals. He wasn't vague about it either. He straight up criticized the policies, and MAGA folks felt personally attacked. The part that really stands out is how MAGA supporters think they own religion. They assume every leader should follow their beliefs, support their policies, and avoid any criticism of Trump. So when this Pope didn't do that, it shocked them. They felt betrayed, but no one else was surprised. Everyone else just saw a man who stood on principle, and that made the MAGA complaints even funnier.
Wholeheartedly speaking, I don't know anything about what it takes to become the Pope. I don't know much about the Catholic faith. However, I heard MAGA is mad about the choice, so that will let me know that it was a good choice. Don't ask me how I know, but anything that makes MAGA mad makes me happy. I do know that.
MAGA has been having a full-on toddler-level temper tantrum on the internet over the new selection of the Pope. Cardinal Robert Prevost, the first American Pope who now goes by Pope Leo, has got MAGA completely fuming. Leading MAGA figures like Looney Laura, Jack Poserbeck, and Charlie Cuck have been calling him things like a woke Marxist, anti-Trump globalist. They are so mad that he supports George Floyd and open borders. And it probably doesn't help that he was born in Chicago and is a naturalized Peruvian citizen. And it probably really doesn't help that he retweeted a post that was criticizing the deportation of Kilmar Garcia. He included a quote that said, "Do you not see the suffering? Is your conscience not disturbed? How can you stay quiet?" Apparently, the Vatican has already called Trump in regards to this whole situation, and you have J.D. Vance trying to make peace offerings to the Pope. I think these MAGA influencers may have pissed off the wrong people. I myself am not a super religious person, but there is one thing that I do know, and that is that you leave the Pope alone.
It's not just that the Pope spoke out against Trump. It's how MAGA folks reacted like it was the end of the world. They made it seem like this one man had destroyed their entire worldview, all because he didn't bow down to their favorite politician. It's always funny watching people who are used to getting their way suddenly face resistance, and that's exactly what happened here. MAGA folks are used to using religion to back up their views, but now that the tables have turned, they can't handle it. They are used to being in charge of the narrative, but this time, they aren't. So now we have a new pope. He's not afraid to speak out. He's from Chicago. He's not impressed by Trump, and he clearly isn't here to please the MAGA crowd. And honestly, it's refreshing. Watching people who usually throw their weight around finally get humble a little has been one of the funniest things to happen online in a while.
The Pope being from Chicago is probably the biggest win Chicago has had in a very long time. And if you couldn't tell from the Chief Keef edit, the Pope is from Chicago. Now, after the internet found out the Pope was from Chicago, because one, he wasn't even a contender to be Pope. And two, he's American, which is also pretty strange. People took to the internet and they said Vatican City after electing an American Pope. Not Portillo's. Now, mind you, I went to college in Chicago, so I'm very familiar with Portillo's. This the one right here. This the one right here. Y'all, this is a Chicago dog, if you didn't know, but it has communion wafers. Hold on. It's got communion wafers on it. I'm so done with the internet today.
So what do you all think? Is the new pope the shake-up the church needed? Are MAGA folks ever going to stop complaining about everything? And lastly, why are Black Americans always the funniest when it comes to reacting to this type of mess? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video about Target CEO salary being slashed, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, the Joy Report out.